Welcome everyone to Oxygen Not Included. My name is Anna and today we will continue building the perfect base. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. It really helps to get these videos to other people. And if you want to see more videos like this, feel free to subscribe as well. In the last video, and I think this is episode 9, so in episode 8 we were going ham with automation. We did a lot, so we automated these hatch farms. We made sure that these critter feeders are automatically filled by these auto sweepers for all our 4 hatch farms, but the top one is still empty, of course. Also, everything that's dropped, eggs, coal, or anything else is being loaded in this conveyor loader. That stuff is all going, and you can see some of the coal here, to here, where the coal is filtered out. It's dropped here where this auto sweeper is filling my coal generators, so my duplicates also don't have to do that anymore. Everything else will go down here, which can be any resource, but mostly eggs. They come in here. This auto sweeper picks the stuff from here. If it's something that needs to go into these incubators, this auto sweeper will put it in there. Otherwise, we'll put it in the next conveyor loader where it goes to this receptacle. The auto sweeper picks it out of there, puts it in here if there's room and it has something that needs to go in there. If not, it goes to the next one where we go into this evolution chamber. In this evolution chamber, everything except eggs is picked up and placed in this conveyor loader. The eggs will stay here until they hatch. They become critters and they drown here, and then they turn into eggshells whenever they hatch already. But when they die, they will turn into meat, and the meat is then with everything else that is in here, that lands in here, which shouldn't be many other things. It will be moved to here, which is another vacuum near the kitchen. This conveyor loader can reach this spot. It will pick up any meat that is here or any other stuff. Meat is put in here. Other stuff is put in here. And if we have cooked items, it will place it in this loader, where this is moved nicely into our new food storage location. All automated, so my duplicants don't have to do anything here except cook the food and of course groom the critters, which Bubbles is still doing. So that was a lot. In this video we're going to do a couple of things. First of all, we want to go into the next stage, and the next stage means we need to get plastic and steel. As you can see, we already have 250 kilograms of steel. But that's not enough. Steel is very good because it can withstand a lot of heat. So we can use it to make very hot things, and temperature management is very important. We also need plastics because a lot of advanced items are dependent on plastic. In order to make steel and plastic, we need to go into the oil biome, which I've already mentioned before. We are going to use this. So what we're going to do is we're going to use all this oil here, which I probably am going to put into a big pool. And then we're going to make some production, probably very locally. I see a nice spot here with already some cooling oil on the floor, which we can use to cool down the stuff that's producing the steel and plastic, because it gives a lot of heat actually. And the oil can soak up some of the heat. We don't have to make a ton of those materials because we can make the rest later in a better controlled environment and higher up. So that's the first thing that we want to do. It's probably the main topic of this video. It's probably the topic of this video. The second thing that I want to do is regarding duplicant clothing. They of course are not naked, but they can wear clothing. And if we look in here, this is our clothing storage bin. We have warm sweaters, cool vests, and snazzy suits. Warm sweaters, They help if your duplicants go into cold areas. They give some extra insulation. You have cool vests, which help against hot areas. They relieve your duplicants of some of the heat. These two cost a little bit of decor. Decor is important for your duplicants to be happier. And since they are always in these exosuits, they don't really need this. I think for the cool vest, I don't know even how much of a cold area they can withstand, but I think there's a lot. And warm sweater, I think they can withstand to up to about 700 degrees or something like that. Super, super hot. So what we do want is these snazzy suits. And these snazzy suits, they increase decor in a small area effect around the wearer. So they will actually have an area where the decor is actually improved by just their clothes. And that's just a nice bonus to have. It also is a little bit of insulation, but I don't think it really has an effect when they are in an exosuit. So yeah, we have one, but we have 6 duplicates, so we need to have a little bit more. Let's see, we have one. Let's give one of the exosuits, or one of these snazzy suits that we already have, to Bubbles. We need to make 5 more, that means. So we need to have some kind of clothing machine. This is an exosuit forge, where we make the other suits, and we also have, where are they? On the stations, I guess? Yeah, we have the textile loom, which does require a little bit of power, but it only requires power when we are using it. I think I'm going to put that here. And I think I'm also going to move this here, because it doesn't need to have such a prominent location here. And that also means we can deconstruct this cable, and then we're going to move this one to here. Yeah, that seems okay. We do need cables for that. Of course, that's, I mean, I guess we can make it go all the way like this. Doesn't really harm anything. What we also can do is make a new floor. I do see that we need to change up this one. And then we can also make a airflow tile there, and we need one here, and the rest can be normal tiles made out of granite for the biggest decor bonus. So let's put that there, and once we have this textile loom, we can start making some clothes. What we do need in order to make clothes is reed fiber, and we only have 18. Since we need to make 5 suits and they are 4 reed fiber each, it's probably a good idea to start working on some extra reed fiber. Reed fiber requires polluted water in order to grow, and we have quite a bit of polluted water here. It has 130 million germs, which is a ton, but reed fiber doesn't really care. So what we're going to do here is we're going to use a bit of this polluted water to make a couple of farms here. Let's see, we're going to put in some insulated. What is this stuff hot? I don't even think it's hot. It's 30 degrees. And this is not built. I think we're just gonna use insulated pipes, because why not? And then we're going to connect this. And then these will grow automatically already, and that will give us some additional reed fiber, which we can use to make clothes for now, but also later on we can use reed fiber for other textile stuff like carpets, which you can have on your bedrooms, for example, and maybe even other stuff. But yeah, reed fiber, it doesn't hurt to have a little bit more of that. So yeah, that's already the clothing stuff. One more thing that I also want to do in this episode, if we have more time, is work a little bit more on automation, of course. We want to have even more automation. For example, right now, and it doesn't always go super well, we see here that this box is empty, and this is required as input for the critter feeder. I want to automate also the supply of food for the hatchlings to these farms. So that requires a little bit more work. For now, we're not going to do that first of all, but for now I'm going to set this to a 5. So these are filled a little bit more quickly. This is pretty full still. It's at a 2, but that's fine. And here we don't have hatches yet. But yeah, these farms are a little bit more full. We'll get there. So yeah, we have 1 hatchling egg here right now. We have 130,000 calories. I don't think we're going to dig a lot in this episode, so our food is going to drop, which means that the second part of automation that I want to do is activating this farm again and making sure that the mealwood that comes from here is automatically also moved here. So we have minimal work for our duplicate. In order to do that, we need to remove a little bit of this crown molding so we can place more of our robots. Are we going to do it now? Yeah, why not? Let's remove that, this, and these 2. Yeah, that should work. We can already put in these mealwood seeds. We have 75, so that's more than enough to fill up all of these. And then this can start growing while we are doing this here. Actually, yeah, let's wait with this. We will be... Yeah, I want to make some shipping already, because of course we have Liam who needs to start working on this. He's the only one who can make these. And the mealwood that we farm will be shipped directly into here, so we can just connect it to this line. I think it can go to here. This is the first one. Actually, we can move it to here, because this is where we will load the mealwood. Yeah. Is there more that we want to do? I don't think directly there's more. Let's see the temperatures. It is starting to get a little bit more yellow for some reason. I don't know why exactly, but we need to make sure that this also can grow. Yeah, the water here is also a little bit hotter now. I think I'm gonna add a couple more Weezwards, one there, maybe one here, should be okay. And then these can also start cooling down the base a little bit. In order to make steel, we also need a kiln, or maybe more kilns. I guess one at first is the most important, the ceramics. I guess we can already start doing something. In order for the kilns to work, they need coal, and we have our coal supply here, the main coal supply. So we are going to leech off this coal as well, because all the coal will come here ultimately. So we're going to make something here in this area as well. So let's make up some room here, so we can also make these ladders, by the way. Let's free up this, and we can also deconstruct that one. And then also let's immediately start building the stuff that we need down here. Actually, do we want to build already? I want to first dig out some areas here. So we're going down. This is igneous rock, which is fine. Once we're down here, I also want to dig out around here so we have more open space. Dig out this as well. We do have something here that we need to take into account, but we can also dig up this piece, and then I guess we can reach till there. This is more lead that I want to just snatch. Yeah, we can open up this. Actually, let's not open up this yet. I want to do this first, and then we start going sideways here so we make room. This is pressurized, so there's a lot of oil here actually. There's also a lot of oil here. I want to make a big pool of oil here and then use that as a bit of a heat sink, actually. So let's let them go to work a bit until we are at a further stage. I see that this is also already constructed. What I want to do here is make some auto sweepers. Let's make this as a 6. From lead is fine. I'm going to make one here, which can reach that side of the room, and then one here, which can reach the rest. We make a conveyor loader here, exactly, and then we add in some power cables so these things also work. And that should already be good like that. And then let's see at the bottom, we're also digging out some stuff here, but this is not going very quickly. Let's also make this a 6. I need to be careful not to make everything a 6, otherwise the priorities don't really have an effect anymore. But yeah, I do want to have some stuff going on here, because this is the big project that we're going to do today. We want to make plastics and steel, and for that we need to have some kind of oil well, heat sink, whatever you want to call it. I want to make one big pool of oil, which can help with the heat that's going to be released. Let's just dig into here, and then everything, all this pressure will move to this bottom pool. See, the exosuit forge is already built again. Did we get our cables hooked up? Yeah, but they're not built yet. Okay, and this is also almost built, and then we can start making some extra snazzy suits. Don't know, did Bubbles already get her suit? I think she did. So now if we look at decor around Bubbles, you can see that the green area is following Bubbles a bit. She's radiating decor, which is nice. And now that this is here, we can start making some additional snazzy suits. So as I said, we have the cool vests, the warm sweaters, both of which we don't really need. We just want 5 of these snazzy suits. We don't have enough of 5, but we do have enough for 4. So let's make, let's just queue 5, and then the 5th one will be made as soon as it's possible. But yeah, we do need to have power first. For this conveyor loader, I think everything is already connected. Let's go back here. Yeah, so if we load something here, it's automatically moved into the chute. It's not going to this side because there's no input here, there's only an output. So it automatically goes to this side. And what we want to put in here is actually only meal lice, because that's what these things are dropping. See, we're also making progress here. Let's build this ladder. Am I going to set this up already? Yes, I guess we can. So what I want to make here is actually a small spot where we can start making some, let me think. Going to make it like that. I'm going to put a planter box there and there and there. We want to make it one wider. I also want to load and unload these kilns, well actually only load, with a auto sweeper. So we're going to put that here. These things, actually, can we put still a ward seat here? Does look like it. Yeah, we need at least one. And then for refinement, we have the kiln here. We can make that out of, I don't think these have an overheater temperature, right? So yeah, let's make that just out of copper ore. We'll make one there and one here. These things get super, super hot. So yeah, and then let's make a storage bin here. In order to supply these kilns, we're going to make refined carbon and ceramics, and both of those recipes require coal, as I said already. So what we're going to do is we're going to supply coal from here to here, and we're going to do that the same as we did down here. We have a conveyor loader, which needs to be in range of this thing. So we have, okay, like that. Going to put it such, and then this one gets until the end of this. So we also needed a conveyor receptacle, which we put like this. And then we're just going to make rails in between those two. And that should be good G. As I said, we need for refined carbon, we just need coal. And we need refined carbon for making steel. For ceramics, we need coal and clay. Clay, I think it's up here mostly, but we're going to make it that we put a little bit of clay in here. Maybe not 20,000 kilograms. Or why not? Let's put clay here, cultivatable soil. And then this auto sweeper can pick it up here and put it in the kiln that needs it. This one we can set to coal. At that point, this loader will automatically put it in here, but we still need to power the stuff, of course, otherwise nothing works. We're going to stretch this cable, put it in there and there. And that should already be good to go. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for this cable and then this stuff can run by itself. Let's see, this is already done. Let's see, yeah, it's picked up, put in there, and then the meal lice is automatically transported here. So that means we do have something to eat for the duration that we are putting eggs here. And this list of eggs is going to grow very, very quickly. I see we have a stone hatchling here. Why is it not being loaded in here? What is going on? Were you too busy? Come here, little guy. Wrangle. See, there's actually 2 hatched. Interesting. Very odd. Bubbles, what are you doing? Anyhow, so this is now working. The wood seeds are automatically moved. This is working. So we have coal, we have clay. So this here, we can make sure that it makes some ceramic. Let's just start with something like 50. It's 5 tons. I mean, this is going to help a lot with stuff that needs to be insulated properly. And need to be able to handle very high temperatures. So yeah, this is automatically loaded by the coal from here and the clay from here, and then it starts working. This one we can make refined carbon. I don't think we need that much. I think it's like 70 per. So let's make about 20 of these. It should be enough for a while. Okay, so you will see that this here will start generating a lot of heat. These each produce 20,000 DTUs of heat, which is a ton. So that's why I have these auto planter boxes here. I actually want to fill them up as well. Let's see our base. It is cooling down slightly again. Maybe we can remove this one here, deconstruct, and then we can put in another Weeswort here. So we have a little bit more temperature control. I see we have another hatchling here. Let's also make sure to put it in one of our ranches. Did we get the stone hatch? It does seem so. Yeah, we have more here now. Okay, good. Let's see how our progress is down here. Yeah, this is looking good. We already have a big pool here. Yeah, this is looking just fine. Let's dig out a bit more. Like this and like that. So we can get up here. And then we can dig out some more. Actually, we can dig out 3 layers here. Like that. And then make this a priority 6. Just to make sure that they do this. And now actually we can already start setting up our plastic and steel production here. In order to do that, we need some plumbing. We need a liquid pump because we need to pump up oil. And because this is very hot here, we're going to make this out of gold amalgam. which has a plus 50 degrees overheat temperature. We're going to put it all the way at the bottom here, and then we're going to make a normal pipe. This is 400. Let's just use the normal pipe. It doesn't matter, really. All of this is hot. So we're going to pump the oil up. And then somewhere here, let's see, in refinement, I think we need to have an oil refinery. We put that, I guess here's okay. And then we can already see that this pipe here goes into the in slot of this. What we also, so this is going to produce petroleum. Let's see, what else do we need oil for? For the metal refinery. Let's also put down that one. And for the metal refinery, this is actually as a coolant. And so the metal refinery takes in cooling water. Let's see, can we see that? It takes in cooling water. Can I turn this around? Let me see. Refinements, metal refinery. Doesn't seem that I can turn it around. That's a little bit annoying. So this thing here, it has a liquid intake pipe where it takes in cooling water. It also has an output pipe where the cooling water is heated up actually by quite a bit. You see the effect of this thing is plus 16 kilodTUs as well. All of that temperature, or most of it, is put into the cooling water, and that has to be dumped somewhere. So yeah, that cooling water is going back into this whole area. I think, yeah, let's do that with insulated pipes just to make sure. Let me see, because this is going to be a mess. I want the output here. Let's make it to here, then have it jump over. Then from here, I want to have it dropped down again. And we need one bridge. So that's the output. Yeah. I guess we can make this out of. Let's actually cancel this stuff. And then make the plumbing, the insulated pipes out of. Oh, I already think I had it out of igneous rock. Like this again, the bridge, igneous rock, like, whoops, like that. Okay. Then we also need water in. So let's continue this pipe. All the water that is not processed here will continue in here. Yes, this is already going out. So we still need to, my God, this is such a mess. What we can do here is jump across once more. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. So we jump across this again, insulate it like that. And then the petroleum that comes out of here will need to be moved into a storage bin, which is here. Liquid reservoir. Nice. That's conveniently up there. Let's go like this. This looks really messy, but we're going to be fine. And then the petroleum will be in here, and that will be fed into the polymer press. And the polymer press, as you can read, it converts petroleum into raw plastic. And this thing generates carbon dioxide, it generates steam, a lot of nastiness, a lot of heat also. But actually, am I making this out of gold amalgam? Yes, definitely. Yeah, we need gold amalgam, probably. Although it is being cooled by the oil, let's just be safe and make this out of gold. We put this here, then we go back to plumbing because we want to put the petroleum in there. Should be fairly easy. And then in ventilation, We have a little bit of carbon dioxide that's coming out of here, which we're just gonna dump somewhere here. This is too high, I think. Ventilation, gas vents, like that. That's actually also these metal refinery and the oil refinery. Refinements, oil refinery out of gold amalgam. That was here, I'm pretty sure. And then the metal refinery was there. Okay, you can also see that these things require power also. I don't want to make the cable all the way down here. That would be quite a bit of a waste. So we're going to make a little bit of local power with the coal generator, which we're going to put here. And then a smart battery, which we'll put here. And then this will be connected, of course, by automation, so that this coal generator doesn't always run. And then we're going to connect this power all the way across. Let's see, so then we have the oil turned into petroleum, going into the reservoir, going into the polymer press. So we make plastic, and then this metal refinery we can use to make steel. Right. One thing I still want to connect is this liquid reservoir with the oil refinery, because when this is full enough, I don't want duplicants to go here and start filling up the last remaining bits. So I want to have a little bit of automation here as well. Let's see how easy that is. This is going to this one, right? Yeah, it doesn't seem that difficult. We just make it like this, and then we have a bridge across. That should already do it. Oh wait, we do need to also power the liquid pump, of course. So let's connect that as well. Should have enough lead down here for that. And I think we should be just about okay on the power draw. Yeah, let's let them build this, and I hope everything stays cool. Or is this is made by copper. This here also copper. Let's not do that. Let's also make these out of gold amalgam. Gold amalgam there. And then this one this was already out of copper, which this is refined copper. Yeah, we don't need to make it out of steel. You can see steel has an overheat temperature of plus 200. That's not necessary, but this was already okay. Oh, all right. So let's let them build all of this stuff, and then we'll get back when this is done. Oh, that is nice. A second set of 8 Paco. They will actually very nicely go also in here if everything is okay. They're searching for the way, and there they go. How old are these? These are halfway. Okay. So we have Pacos of 0H and Paco of 14H now. Nice. That's very nice. We have doubled our amount of Paco here, which will make sure that we get more fish, which is free food. Let's see how our progress is down here. We have the coal and the battery are both done. We have a lot of seems like we have a lot of the cable done already. Seems like all of the cable is done already. It's just that the other stuff still needs to be made. But for that, I think they have to get the gold amalgam. Here we also are generating our refined carbon. We have 1800 kilograms right here. I think we're making 2000. Yeah, so this kiln is almost done, and this one was making a lot of ceramic, which we can use to make insulated tiles. So if we look at insulated tiles and then ceramic, we can see that it has a very high overheat temperature, and it is an insulator. So this one is very good at insulating, which is what we need insulated tiles for. Anyway, let's let them continue. So do we have more clothes? We don't have more clothes just yet. Let's see. Polymer press is done. Nice. Metal refinery is done, but it requires coolants. Everything is slowly coming together. In here we want to make iron into steel, but we don't have iron yet. So we need to make iron first. And we can make iron also in here from iron ore. We have plenty of iron ore, 37 kilograms. So let's start by doing this. How much steel do we want actually? I think, let me see, we have 250 kilograms. I think if we have about 10 more crafts, so 1000 steel, we have enough for one aqua tuner. Is that going to be enough? Well, you can see this is already filling up with oil. This one also. Let's set this one, by the way, that it only sends a green signal in like this area. Should be okay. But yeah, how much steel do we want? Maybe 20 of these? But for 20 we need 1400 kilograms of iron. 20, yeah, we have plenty of this. And we also have enough for 20 of these. So let's make 20 here. Wait, let me see. It was 1400 iron. So we need 14 of these. Let's make these first. Yeah, so now we need people down here working on these machines. The polymer press doesn't need a duplicant to work on it. It will just be fed with petroleum. That's the word. Jesus. It doesn't require a lot of petroleum either. So yeah, this will fill up quicker. At least this is a buffer for this. But you can see here the polymer press is pushing out the plastic. And at some point it will pop here on the floor. And we have our first plastic. 30 kilograms. Is this 30? I thought it pushed out 60 at a time. Anyway, I guess it's 30. Doesn't matter. So yeah, this is great. And now we also need to start making our steel. This here is going to be producing a lot of heat. So you see heat production 32.5 kilo DTUs, which is a lot. It's also venting out a little bit of carbon dioxide here, which doesn't matter that much. And this here is the heat creator. So it seems that everything is set up correctly here. We have in some crude oil, which is 72.1 degrees Celsius, and it comes out at 150 degrees Celsius, and we're dropping it down here again. And of course this will make this area hotter, but we don't really care that much, and it can eat a little bit of heat, so it is actually fine. We can actually dig out a little bit more here now, like that, and then like that. Then we start digging out the rest here. Guess like that. I want to make it so that they can walk up here, because then we can also dig out the other stuff. Okay. And once again, this is just a temporary setup. We're making our first plastic here. I think we only need like 200 kilograms of plastic, but we're going to make a little bit more, because why not? It is heating up the oil slightly, but yeah, it's still 66, 67 degrees. We're fine. We made one iron, lots to do, and at the end we want to make also 20 steel. And the steel is actually going to heat up the cooling oil a lot more than the iron. So dependent on what you make, let's actually reset this. We're going to make the iron first and leave it here. And then once we make the steel, I will show you that the steel production will heat up the oil significantly more than the iron production. Seems like this is dug out. See, I think we can just dig out this, right? And then like that. Actually, we don't need this one because we can reach it from the bottom. But yeah, we have a nice big pool here now. What is the priority here? I keep having to set it back. Anyway. So to make steel, we need a couple of things. We need iron, which we are making here. We need refined carbon, as I mentioned. We have 2000 made, which is enough for 100 crafts of steel. So that's 10 tons of steel, which is quite a bit. And then we need lime. And lime we're making by crushing this fossil that is found here in this oil biome, but also from the eggshells that are coming from our hedge farms. We have a bit of... we have 5.6 tons of fossil, actually. Wow. That's a lot. But yeah, some more... No, it's not done yet. Almost some more iron made, and then you will see more hot crude oil, raising about 75 to 80 degrees Celsius in temperature, just by making one piece of 100 kilograms of iron, I should say. All right. How's the farm doing? Let's see. We have already our first 4 reed fiber produced here. That means we also have one more snazzy suit produced, which we can give to the next duplicants. And then we need one more. So this one goes to Max. Alright, it seems that this cable is overheating slightly. It's overloading. As you can see, the potential load is 2160 watts. So if this thing is running together with the pump, which is almost always running, especially if this oil refinery is running, and this metal refinery is running, which takes 1.2 kilowatts, then we're actually using too much power and this cable will overload. And that's not what we want. We actually already have 570 kilograms of plastic, which is plenty for now. We might make more at a later stage, but for now let's fill up this bin with petroleum. This time I do remember, so we can make some more later on when we're done making steel here. In the meantime, the crude oil here is still 66 degrees, so not much has happened, so it's working perfectly. You see that it's a little bit thicker now because there's a small layer of water on top, which really doesn't matter. It doesn't make it so that these buildings are underwater, although it does look a little bit weird, but because there's only so little crude oil, 5.3 kilograms, and then a small bit of water, they are not flooded, the buildings. It just looks weird because the water cannot mix with the oil, so it's on top of the oil. So it looks like it's a full tile of oil, which does look a little bit weird. We are having some trouble here with power. Is this not supplying enough? I guess this is as good as empty. I guess one coal generator doesn't provide enough for 1.2 kilowatts of the metal refinery. But yeah, it'll do. Yeah, this is drained very quickly. Why is it? Oh, that's why. We want this to start earlier. Let's say at 50%. And then go up to 95. That's why. And this we want to be loaded like 40%? Nah, 35. Alright. So now this should stay a little bit more full. Wow, this is really not keeping up. Maybe we have to make a second one. Or maybe we make a jumbo battery out of gold amalgam. Let's put that here. Because, yeah, this battery is only 20 kilojoule tops, and this is another 40. So this should work a little bit better. Because these are just pulling too much energy. This battery is just draining like crazy. Yeah, and then they have to stop every time, which is taking a lot of time. So yeah, I want this to be done fast. And maybe this already to say that the coal generators should start working at like 65%. This oil refinery can easily be kept up. I think this is only... How much watt does that one use? 480. Yeah, so the oil refinery can be kept up by one coal generator, but yeah, these two together, nope. Not working. But yeah, now we have a jumbo battery next to the smart battery, so that should work a little bit better. Yeah, here we go. That's the last iron ore, I think. Yeah, and now we can start with our steel. 20 of those. And then we get really hot stuff out of here. The crude oil here is... yeah, it's heating up slightly. I think it was like 75, and the crude oil up here is now about 85. But yeah, down here it's still 75-ish. It's just a hot spot here that we have right now. It's okay. This is now stopped. We're going to get a lot of petroleum in here, which we can use later on. But yeah, here's our first self-produced steel. And as I said, this is going to produce very, very hot outputs. Let's actually disable this for a while. Let's put it to 3. Because we don't need the petroleum. And this one is already drawing plenty of power. It's keeping up a little bit better. Here's the first steel. And the oil coming out of here is 213 degrees Celsius. Luckily, can we see the oil? No. But if we go to oil, it takes a bit of temperature to get it to its vaporization point, which is 399, at which it will not turn into a gas, but actually turn into petroleum. So you can put oil into an oil refinery to turn it into petroleum, but you can also heat it up sufficiently, and then it will also turn into petroleum. But yeah, that has not happened here. Yeah, we have a first iron to steel done. Let's build the others. And then we will have quite a bit of steel, which we'll use in the next episode to build some more advanced stuff. Basically some cooling stuff. Yeah, the batteries. I guess, yeah, we can make one with this full battery. We can make one steel, it seems, which is nice. Let's actually sweep this real quick. Because it's heating up here. Same with the plastic, but this is already hot. So yeah, the steel, when its output is 40 degrees. So yeah, we want to move this as quick as possible away from here. Because it's a shame if this... well, it's actually also eating up the heat from the oil, I guess. Alright, that's going well. This is also going well. We have already 36,000 kilocalories of meal lice. As you can see, we only have muckroot and meal lice now. All the fancy foods have been eaten. Let's actually see, do we have the last snazzy suit? We do. So we can give Rowan also a snazzy suit, and we can look at what we have in our printer. We have some ice, we have some gold amalgam. What do we need more? Let's take the gold amalgam, never hurts to have that. Then we can sweep that up. Alright, we have more to sweep here, make this a little bit cleaner. Our eggs, by the way, we have, as you can see, quite a few eggs now. They're all incubating. As I said, it takes 20 cycles for them to incubate. It's 24, 29, 53, 57. So the first one is 57. That means we're about 11 to 12 cycles further since we started. So yeah, they have still way to go. This is 8. Let's put the rest of the stone hatchlings in here. How many normal hatchlings do we have now? 6 out of 8 and 4 out of 8. So we have 10 total. Yeah, we wait until this is a total of 8. And then we turn another wrench into a stone hatchling wrench. For now, we just leave them as it's. They're producing eggs. It's just fine. How many stone hatchling eggs do we have now? 6. Okay. Draclet, 4 hatchling eggs. Yeah, mostly stone hatchling eggs. Which is fine. We have 63 tons of that. How much coal do we have? 107 tons. So this is also increasing because of hatchling farms. We have quite a bit of coal. Steel is at 850 now. We're going to about 2,000. 2 tons in the end. So yeah, this is now keeping up pretty well. Sweep this again. And our big pool of oil, it is heating up in the top there. But overall, it's just fine. I've also opened up this pack of oil here, so this went up a little bit further still, because there was quite a bit of pressure here as well. We have a lot of diamond here, which we can dig up. Diamond is a great heat soak. It can hold a lot of heat, but it can also transfer heat very well. So this is definitely going to be used in a later stage. Here you can actually see petroleum naturally. I guess it's been heated up here by something else, because normally we only see oil here naturally. We actually have sour gas here, 10 kilograms, 25 kilograms. That's high pressure. Something is heating up our stuff there, and here also sour gas, but not that much. Here's also sour gas. I don't know for sure what's going on here. This is not super hot. But yeah. Alright. 1,250 kilograms. I'll be back when all of our production orders are finished. And then I think we can start wrapping up this episode. So, one last thing I did here is plant a buddy bud here. Buddy buds are plants that spread germs, as they're called, but these are actually good germs. So if we go to the germs overview, they spread floral scent. And floral scent is a scent that some duplicants are allergic to, but when a duplicant is not allergic to it, they actually get a positive debuff, mainly smelled flowers, which reduces their stress by 5% per cycle. And since the duplicants walk through this area very often, we already had a buddy bud down here, but they're not often in this area. We have a lot of flower sand here as well. I also opted to put one here because then they will get this buff very frequently, actually every day. So they will be extra motivated to work harder. It seems also that we are very close to finishing our steel production. And with that, yeah, 3 more. I think the remaining bits we will let be produced. Is that English? Off camera. And then next time we're going to use this steel to make some exciting new stuff. It seems that a waterlock also has been created here automatically. But yeah, you can see we have a lot of natural gas, which I think is coming from the old refinery. It produces a little bit of natural gas automatically. But yeah, that's fine. It's just hanging here. It won't be a bother. But yeah, having said that, we have our steel. We have a lot of steel. Why did we lose 500 kilograms of steel? Oh, there it is. And we're going to use that next time. So that was basically it. We didn't get to a lot of the automation that I wanted to do. We did a little bit of this meal lice, which we still need to get through our egg dip. It's not really an egg dip, but the omelette dip, I should say, because we're not cracking all of these eggs anymore. But yeah, to get through this food dip and waiting for the first eggs to incubate, which is also going to happen next episode, I guess. How far are we? 62 I saw, 64, 68. So that's about 6 more cycles. Something like that, 6 cycles, a cycle 130. Round about there, we should get our first stone hatchling or hatchling hatching here. And then turning into meat, which is transferred here, and then we can cook it for making barbecue. Very nice. And then we have some very nice food for our duplicants, and we can stop feeding them muckroot and meal lice, because these are not the best kinds of food, actually. It's not making them very happy. But yeah, lots of improvements for the next episode. But that was it for this one. If you have any remarks on this video or any suggestions on what to do next, feel free to leave a comment below and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next episode.